let go of the need to be doing stuff all the time. So, what does this title really means? I feel like we as humans, our nature of our minds tends to be inclined to be trying to find stuff to do all the time. And if you're someone who has a very racy mind, like me, sometimes you may find yourself in a pattern where you simply lay down and your mind starts to want to go to plan the next thing that you are going to do. And this is pretty much what creates our habits and our patterns. I can tell you that you can find yourself in really visible patterns doing this. I, for example, remember when I used to, and these tendencies, they don't simply vanish, at least not for me at this time, but it's like I lay down and then my mind goes to, okay, so what am I gonna do next? So I want to do this, and then I want to do that, and then, yeah. So what is it that I actually want to do right now? So this stems from the need to want to control the experience we are having. And to be honest with you, sometimes it's not that we don't like the current experience, it's that the mind is so used to having to plan stuff and to create an itinerary in our own minds, so that we don't feel all out of control even for 1 second. And maybe you are someone who has been cultivating a spiritual practice and realizing the power that it is to just be in the present moment. And at the same time, you find yourself having that realization that your mind still wants to create an itinerary in itself, right? Well, first of all, it's very important that you don't judge it. I guess it's the mind tendency to do that. Again, it's something that's sort of a habit, right? It's not necessarily bad. The mind, the ego, has its own self-preserving nature, and it feels safe when it has structure. And especially if you're someone who has had a childhood upbringing where you have had to create your own safe space in your life, it's very natural that you would have a tendency to want to basically create a step-by-step sort of a cookbook in your mind, right? And the answer to, well, first of all, there is no answer per se, right? The answer is you taking the initiative to watch videos like this is already something that life is nudging you to look at these patterns more deeply. This will inevitably lead you to experiencing reality in a more immersive way, in a more present way. But one thing I can tell you can do is you simply realize your tendencies, and then you just refrain from acting on them. Of course, if you feel incapable of doing so, that's okay as well. But if you just lay down and you realize that your mind is starting to create plans on what is it that you should do right now, you just catch yourself thinking like that, and you simply just watch that thought and let it go. And if you cannot let it go, you let it, whatever emotion comes up, and you witness that emotion and you feel that emotion without hiding from it, without trying to conceptualize it into a box. Maybe you can do that later, try to write a little bit about what is it that you're feeling, but feel it, feel the emotion, don't rationalize it away. Emotions, they are signals. They are here to be felt, to be understood. And sometimes understanding does not come through the mind, but through the heart. The understanding that I'm talking about is comprehension, is simply directing your consciousness into that feeling. And you let it take whatever it wants. Sometimes certain images may start to appear in your mind. They may bring you to a place that you have not been before, or that you have not been in a while. And that may give you some answers about yourself, about your current process, about what is going on in your mind, in your soul, in your relationship to other people. It's all connected.